A friend of mine suggested something with a little more heart, so I want to build off an anecdote I have from a memory we share seared into my mind. Circa 2014, it is our freshman year of high school. Perhaps the M401S had just been added to Counter-Strike, or maybe it was the Arms Race update that added gambling for children, or maybe neither or both, or you know what? Definitely neither matters, because they're just disparate details tangentially related to a more concrete recollection. Indeed, my concerns should have been on grades, friends, school, girls, or whatever, but no, games. Just games, truthfully. At that time in particular, I had little interest in more than coasting along through my day and getting home to play games with my friend. There were periods where I would play different games with different people. As is natural, and he would too, he played with a group of talented individuals that went by the clan tag the Mad Bombardiers. He got very good at Counter-Strike during his stint with them, something I never devoted the effort to, and while I felt some frustration over the scant few times it caused our schedules to be incompatible, I was overall glad to not feel guilt for playing GTA with a separate group, because he was not alone. One summer, though, he was around a lot more, and eventually he didn't play with them at all. I had been through this, because I am awesome. Groups have falling outs or find new games to play. I get it, it's a bummer, but it happens. But when I asked which of those two scenarios played out, I could not comprehend the response. Neither. They had graduated college and gotten jobs. They didn't have time to play anymore. Not us. Not me. I'll always have time. I don't care how I have to shift my schedule around. I'm gonna find time to play because it's what makes me happy. It didn't occur to me that proclivities could be fickle. It was us, and it is me. Schedules almost never line up anymore, and what's worse for past me is that I'm okay with it. I don't have much interest in playing games anymore. I certainly couldn't ever spend all day on it again. I like time with my family. I like writing and hiking and editing and D&D and my growing collection of board games and music and cooking and an increasingly long list of things, somewhere always towards the bottom of which is gaming. Maybe it's because I made a job of it, but maybe it's because the cracks in the hobby start to show under scrutiny. If I roll my eyes every time I have to dive in to gather and organize footage, then is it any good? I wouldn't roll my eyes at gathering and compiling a home movie of cherished memories or in the act of documenting a hiking trip, but games are an absolute chore to record, let alone organize thoughts on. I think, long before I tried to monetize my enjoyment, there was a pretty big mindset shift in me that I think a lot of, not all, but a lot of other adults experience. Games aren't a passion anymore, they're just a fun thing to unwind with sometimes. I find my passions lie with things that cause me to learn new skills, grow as a person, feel fulfilled, and to put that onus on video games is to mold them into something more than they are and more than they were ever intended to be. This is why I struggled with my last series of videos and why I launched Forget-Me-Not. It is relatively easy to dig through the Scrooge McDuckian pit of nostalgia riddled with games. In my mind, it is hard to take already scarce time away from my wife to generate feeling enough to provide entertaining coverage of titles now. That realization has caused a sense of things crashing down around me. This was always the goal, making videos about my favorite thing in the world, games, but the grass is always greener, I suppose. Just because they're a hobby and a pastime doesn't mean they can ever be more than that. I'm still gonna make them, because I don't know what else to do, but this is certainly a psychological hurdle for me. Stick around. You'll see me again.